show you how to scratch it.
Herzog Zwei, I don't know how to say it. Herzog Zwei, the final game at time of recording for Sega's line of Sega Ages titles for the Nintendo Switch. A curious game to end on, but a welcome one for sure. I'll talk more about the Sega Ages line at the end of the video, but for now, let's focus on Herzog Zwei. Originally released in 1990 in the States for the Sega Genesis, this game was a bit polarizing at the time. Most early Genesis fans were into arcade titles such as Thunder Force or Altered Beast, not so much a real-time strategy game. As a result, it fell under the radar, but it's been very much vindicated in recent years. And as a result, physical copies of the game go for a pretty penny on eBay. It's a game I've heard a lot about in the Genesis community, and I've always wanted to play it, and now I finally have a chance to play this title. This is Herzog Zwei for the Nintendo Switch. And I gotta say, it's an interesting game. It looks like a standard overhead shooter, but it's really a real-time strategy game where you are constantly having to think about resource management, sending and delivering units, and making sure your enemy doesn't destroy your base. Unlike other strategy games, this one plays very, very, very fast. You have no time to rest. Your APM better be on fleek if you want to survive. And to be totally honest with you, I have no idea what I'm doing. I try to take up a base as soon as possible, and then I start sending some infantry to annoy my opponent while I try to build bigger tanks and try to take up more bases. And it seems like a winning strategy, but it doesn't really work for me. I'm still learning the ins and outs of this game, but I gotta say I am having fun. Real-time strategy games and turn-based strategy games aren't really my cup of tea, but if it's done well like this game is, well then I'll have fun anyway. And for someone like me who's a total ignoramus at these kind of games, there are multiple difficulty settings and assist modes to help you ease into battle, but if you're experienced with Herzog Zwei or strategy games in general, you can instantly go into harder difficulties, or if you're really hardcore, you could try to find a match online. So, Discord fighters, let's get going. Like I said, this is my first time to play Herzog Zwei, so is there a tutorial? And yes, there is. There's a tutorial mode with this really adorable general who I'm sure already has hentai of her because of course. She goes into detail about how to use all of your tools and applications for them in battle. So if you spend some time with her and learn the game, you'll be Gucci. And much like the other M2 ports in the Sega Ages line on the Switch, the game runs really smooth, you have plenty of options for display and control, and overall this is a very solid port of this game, and a very welcome one at that. So if you're a Sega fan, you're a fan of Herzog Zwei, you're a fan of real-time strategy games, you better have this game in your buy list on your Nintendo Switch. Because I'm not good at Herzog Zwei, I'll leave the ending bit with some B-roll from another game I'm actually kinda decent at, and this game is Thunder Force AC, the second to last Sega Ages game for the Nintendo Switch. Just a really quick recap, Thunder Force AC is a port of the arcade version of Thunder Force 3. And honestly, I don't have much to say about this title other than it's really damn good. I think Thunder Force 4, aka Lightning Force, is a better game, but Thunder Force AC is extremely solid and a must play if you enjoy spaceship shooting titles. And I also got to mention, Technosoft made some absolute bangers of soundtracks back in the day, so both Herzog Zwei and Thunder Force AC will keep your ears very, very, very happy. So with that said, I want to talk about the future of Sega Ages and future ports on future systems. So Sega and M2 decided to end the current run of Sega Ages games with Herzog Zwei. And it's a bit of a sad note, but I saw it coming. They had a good selection of heavy hitters like Sonic and Thunder Force, and a few obscurities like Virtual Racing, but I think people wanted something more. there wasn't any Model 2 games such as Sonic the Fighters or Virtual Fighter 2, or other titles such as Daytona, and I think people were really clamoring for those high-end titles. And from what I read online, these games weren't doing so hot in Japan. Maybe Sega fans are on PS4 or PC, or maybe these games are just a little bit too expensive for a lot of gamers, but for one reason or another, they just weren't taken to it as much as Sega would like in Japan. And another thing about it, based on the requests I have been seeing for future Ages titles, a lot of these games would go beyond the $10 asking price for a lot of Sega Ages games as is. So imagine something like, say, like a Fighters Mega Mix, a Nights into Dreams, or a Skies of Arcadia. Those games would go beyond the Ages Call of Duty, and I think those games could go for, maybe a physical release. Another thing about Sega Ages is that I'm not sure why Sega only ported these games to the Switch. I'm sure fans on Xbox, PS4, and PC would love these versions of these classic games, but I digress. Hopefully for fans of those platforms, Sega will make a nice collection in the future. Thankfully this isn't all tears, as Sega and M2 have said that they are interested in continuing to port some of their back catalog to the modern systems. So hopefully we'll see some heavy hitters come back to the modern platforms and beyond. Might I recommend Virtual Fighter 5 Final Showdown, Shining Force 3, and Skies of Arcadia to the Nintendo Switch, please and thank you. And with that, I end the review. Herzog Zwei and Thunder Force AC, two fantastic games, and if you're a retro gamer or a Sega fan, I highly recommend you check these games out, as well as the other games in the Sega Ages lineage. So that does it for this video. If you liked the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell as well for future notifications on future videos. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Zmings. I've been posting a lot on my Instagram as of late. And with that, I'm signing off. Let me know about Sega Ages in the comments. Are you sad to see it go? What games do you want to see Sega port to the modern systems? Let me know in the comments. Sorry for no live action in this video because I'm kind of lazy right now. Anyway guys, I'm going to go back to playing 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. It's another real-time strategy game, and it's a good one. So be on the lookout for that review. Anyway guys, take it easy.